Kahan Kho Gaye Hum, Call Me Bay, CTRL. How does it feel to have multiple successes in one single year?
It's really a dream come true. I really think this year for me more than ever I felt very connected to my fans with Kho Gaye Hum Kahan and Call Me Bay and Control. I've done movies in the past, but this is the first time that I felt true love from the audience. And you know, all these films and shows have been conversation starters. People have not just come up to me and said that they like my work, but how my work has kind of made them feel seen or represented on screen. And for an actor, I think that's a huge victory for me.
So Asha ji is here on stage, and I sometimes back मैंने आपसे ये पूछा था कि आज के दौर में स्टारडम कैसे हैंडल करना है, तो अनन्या आपके साथ हैं जो स्टारडम को एक अलग तरीके से हैंडल कर रही हैं. कुछ एडवाइस.
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Welcome to this Monday edition of the World Report with me, Arjun Mahendran. Let's take a look at what's making headlines around the world. Hindu devotees have started celebrating the 45-day-long Maha Kumbh Mela festival in Uttar Pradesh's Prayagraj. Millions of Hindu devotees and visitors are residing in a sprawling tent city and dozens of pontoon bridges laid for river crossing on the first auspicious bathing day on Monday. Nearly 400 million people, more than the population of the United States, are expected to participate in the festival between the 13th of January and the 26th of February. That's nearly 200 times more than the 2 million pilgrims that arrived in Muslim holy cities of Mecca and Medina in Saudi Arabia for the annual Hajj pilgrimage last year.
This place have existence of death. Many people afraid of death today, but today they go and take a holy bath to remind themselves that this body will not be here forever.
Fires ripping through the Los Angeles area have killed at least 24 people, displaced thousands of others, and destroyed more than 12,000 structures while burning through an area larger than the city size of San Francisco. Life-threatening winds and dangerously low humidity are forecast for much of Southern California, officials have warned, adding that the winds will cause increased fire activity. In terms of the fires that continue to rage, firefighters have made progress on several fires in California, with the Kenneth fire, which burned just over 1,000 acres, brought under control early Sunday. The Hearst fire, meanwhile, which has destroyed 799 acres, is 89% contained. The unofficial death toll from the fires remains at least 16, although officials acknowledge it is certain to rise. Meanwhile, U.S. National Weather Service issued red flag warnings for severe fire conditions through Wednesday, with sustained winds of 80 kilometers per hour and gusts in the mountains reaching 113 kilometers an hour. Los Angeles County Fire Chief Anthony C. Marone said he believed elevated critical fire weather conditions will continue through Wednesday. Listen in.
Unfortunately, those conversations are not going to begin until the next predicted red flag ends on Wednesday. So please rest assured that first thing Thursday, we will start talking about repopulation in evacuation order and warning areas.
For the first time since October last year, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and US President Joe Biden have spoken over the phone. The development comes as US officials race to reach a Gaza hostage and ceasefire deal before Biden leaves office on the 20th of January. Now, Biden and Netanyahu discussed efforts underway to reach a deal to halt the fighting in the Palestinian enclave and free the remaining hostages there. The White House said in a statement this after the two leaders spoke by telephone. Israel's senior delegation joined the indirect ceasefire talks with Hamas in the Qatari capital Doha on Sunday, with both sides indicating progress in the negotiations. The indirect negotiations between Hamas and Israel have made progress towards a ceasefire agreement, Palestinian officials also said on Sunday. Now, according to Hamas sources, the proposed deal includes two phases. In the initial phase, Hamas will release several Israeli hostages, including women, children, elderly individuals, and in fact, humanitarian cases as well. In exchange, Israel will release dozens of Palestinian detainees, withdraw its forces from parts of Gaza, and facilitate the return of displaced residents to their homes in northern Gaza. After the initial crush of personnel announcements for US President-elect Donald Trump's incoming administration, now the nominations process officially begins. Senate hearings are scheduled this coming week for several of Trump's picks for the cabinet. Many have even met with senators individually. Now they will go before the committee overseeing the agencies that Trump wants them to run. The coordinations of Japan, the US, Australia, and India seek to convene a foreign ministers' meeting in Washington after US President-elect Donald Trump's swearing-in ceremony on the 20th of January. Japanese Foreign Minister Takeshi Iwaya, Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong, and India's External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar will attend the inauguration. The US is expected to be represented at the meeting by Senator Marco Rubio, Trump's pick for Secretary of State. South Korea suspended President Yoon Suk Yeol will receive his annual pay rise despite his impeachment for briefly placing the country under martial law, the government has said. Now, Yoon's salary will be increased by 3% to 262.6 million won, in line with the standard for government officials. Since his impeachment in December, Yoon has resisted attempts to investigate and arrest him for alleged insurrection and abuse of power. Not only this has placed the country deeper into political turmoil. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Sunday he was ready to hand over captured North Korean soldiers to Pyongyang in exchange for the return of Ukrainian POWs held in Russia. Zelensky's offer came hours after South Korea's National Intelligence Service confirmed Ukraine's announcement from the previous day that it had captured 2 North Korean soldiers. Now, in a post on social media platform X on Sunday, Zelensky said, and I quote, "Ukraine is ready to hand over Kim Jong-un soldiers to him if he can organize their exchange for our warriors who are being held captive in Russia. The soldiers are the first captive North Koreans to survive. If you look a little deeper, they represent a PR opportunity for Kiev during a precarious moment for Ukraine as Donald Trump returns to the White House." Meanwhile, Zelensky has also called on his allies once again. Now, this is to honor all promises to supply Ukraine with weapons, including those to counter Russian aerial attacks. He said that over the past week, Russian forces have launched hundreds of strikes on Ukraine, and nearly 700 aerial bombs and over 600 attack drones have also been used. In response, Ukrainian air defenses downed 60 out of 94 drones launched by Russia overnight Saturday. Bangladesh's foreign ministry on Sunday summoned Indian High Commissioner Pranay Verma over border fencing dispute. The development came hours after Dhaka alleged that India was trying to construct fences at 5 locations along the Indo-Bangla border, in alleged violation of a bilateral agreement. Mr. Verma was seen entering the ministry around 3 p.m. local time. His meeting with Foreign Secretary Jashim Uddin lasted approximately 45 minutes. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will visit Spain during the 13th and 14th January to review bilateral ties and discuss regional and global issues, the Foreign Ministry said in a statement on Sunday. Now, Jaishankar will hold talks with Foreign Minister Manuel Albares and meet the leadership of Spain during the first visit to the country as India's External Affairs Minister. The discussions between the two foreign ministers will focus on the entire gamut of bilateral relations and regional and global matters as well. Jaishankar will also address the annual conference of Spanish ambassadors and meet the Indian community there. Chinese health officials are claiming that the rate of infections with the flu-like human metapneumovirus or HMPV in northern China is declining. The news comes amid some international concern over a potential pandemic. Concerns surfaced in recent days over a surge in HMPV infections in northern China after images circulated online of hospitals overrun with mass patients. The World Health Organization, meanwhile, has said it has not received reports of any unusual outbreaks in China or elsewhere. Experts say HMPV is unlike COVID-19 and that it has been around for decades and there is some built-in immunity to it. Most children are infected with the virus by the age of 5 years. However, there are no vaccines or drugs available to treat HMPV. Foreign ministers and top diplomats from Western and Middle Eastern countries met Syria's new foreign minister in the Saudi capital, Riyadh. Now, this at the first such regional meeting on Syria since President Bashar al-Assad was ousted last month. Along with German Foreign Minister, British Foreign Minister David Lammy was expected to join the talks. Foreign ministers from Saudi, Egypt, the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and Turkey were all in Riyadh for Sunday's meeting, plus envoys from the European Union and the United States as well. My correspondent Mohammad Ghazali gets you more. Embattled South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol will reportedly not attend the first formal hearing of his impeachment trial this week due to concerns about his safety. Yoon's lawyer made the statement ahead of the first hearing by the Constitutional Court Tuesday. Investigators are still trying to arrest Yoon for questioning in a separate case concerning his brief imposition last month of martial law. The Constitution Court previously announced that oral arguments for the trial would begin on Tuesday, with 5 sessions scheduled in total, concluding on the 4th of February. Sudan's military and its allies have taken back a strategic city from the Rebel Rapid Support Forces, or the RSF. This deals a major blow to the notorious paramilitary group, which the United States has accused of committing genocide in the country's ongoing civil war. The recapture of the city of Wad Medani, the capital of Jazeera province, came more than a year after it fell to the RSF. Wad Medani had previously been a safe haven for displaced families in the early months of the war. The conflict in Sudan started in April 2023, when simmering tensions between the leaders of the military and the RSF exploded into open fighting in the capital Khartoum and other cities across the sprawling northeastern African country. Croatia's opposition-backed President Zoran Milanovic, a critic of the European Union and NATO, overwhelmingly won re-election for another 5-year term on Sunday, defeating a candidate from the ruling Conservative Party in a runoff vote. Near-complete official results showed Milanovic won nearly 74% of the vote compared to his challenger Dragan Primorac, who gained around 26% votes. Now, this is according to the results released by Croatia's state election authorities after more than 70% of the ballots were counted. The election was held as the European Union and NATO member country of 3.8 million people struggles with biting inflation, corruption, scandals, and a labor shortage. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum delivered her report on her first 100 days in office Sunday in Mexico City, addressing security and the relationship between its neighbor to the north. Sheinbaum's first 100 days have been marked by the constitutional reforms inherited from her predecessor, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, that reshaped the basic institutions of the state. Changes in security and economic and political uncertainties marked, above all, by the start of Donald Trump's second administration in the US on the 20th of January. A fire in a restaurant in the northern Czech Republic has killed 6 people and has left 6 others with serious injuries. Firefighters say the blaze broke out before midnight on Saturday at the Yuchkota restaurant in the city of Most, northwest of Prague. It took more than 60 firefighters until 1 a.m. to get the fire under control. Firefighters say the cause was likely a gas heater that overturned. The injured were being treated in hospitals in most and nearby cities. An investigation is underway. Scientists have unearthed nearly 200 dinosaur footprints dating back 166 million years to the Middle Jurassic period at Duers Farm Quarry in Oxfordshire, England. Now, the remarkable find first spied in 2023 when quarry worker Gary Johnson sensed unusual bumps in the ground while extracting limestone for road construction has been nicknamed, quote-unquote, the Dinosaur Highway, as a nod to the extensive pathways left by these prehistoric creatures. While other Jurassic pathways have been documented globally, the recent highway discovery in Oxfordshire is the largest known dinosaur track site in the UK. Hundreds of Londoners headed down to the underground on Sunday afternoon, stripped down to their underwear and travelled around a bit, trying to look as though nothing unusual was going on. As if this was the official no trousers tube ride, an annual event with no point other than injecting a little levity into the bleak midwinter. No deep meaning, no bigger motive. The only goal was to be silly, if but for one afternoon. The first stunt in vain was held in New York in 2002, the mastermind of local comedian Charlie Todd. Now, the idea took off, and no pants days have been held all over Berlin, Prague, Jerusalem, Warsaw, and even Washington, D.C., among other international cities. A young gorilla rescued from a plane's cargo hold is recovering at an Istanbul zoo, while wildlife officers consider returning him to his natural habitat as well as how to cope with the illegal trade in animals passing through the city's busy air hub. The 5-month-old gorilla was discovered in a box on a Turkish Airlines flight from Nigeria to Thailand last month. Now, this after a public competition. He has been named Zeytin, or Olive, and is recuperating at the Polonezskoye Zoo. Oil extended gains to hit the highest in more than 4 months as a fresh wave of US sanctions against Russia's energy industry threatened to crimp supplies in an already tightening global market. Global benchmark Brent advanced above $81 a barrel after surging almost 4% in the previous session. West Texas Intermediate was near at $78. The US imposed its most aggressive and ambitious sanctions yet on Russia's oil industry on Friday, targeting 2 large exporters, insurance companies, and more than 150 tankers. Asian shares slipped on Monday while the dollar held near 14-month peaks after an unambiguously strong payrolls report shoved up bond yields and tested lofty equity valuations just as the earnings seasons get underway. The impact of the jobs report on US rate cut prospects also raised the stakes for consumer price figures on Wednesday, where any rise in core greater than its forecast of 0.2 would threaten to close the door on easing altogether. The Biden admin has delayed the enforcement of the merger in the US-Nippon steel deal. As we await details, the decision is supposed to be taken next week. Financiers and lessors who make the global air travel industry tick gather for an annual meeting in Dublin on Monday. buoyed by strong lease rates and relatively stable oil prices, but facing uncertainty over jet shortages and trade tensions. Ireland is home to the worldwide aircraft leading industry, which controls about half of the world's airline fleet and the airline economics. Gathering provides an early chance each year to monitor economic and trade risks around the globe. It's time we step into a short break. I'll see you on the other side.
Health isn't someday in the future. It's now. It's same-day GP appointments. Physio without GP referrals. Cancer testing, scans, and diagnosis fast. Questions for an expert at any hour about anything. Routine dental checkups every year for brighter smiles. Support that lasts for as long as it takes. Feeling your best every day starts today. Call or go online now for your quote.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
You got them all right. That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Sometimes it's not time for some tombola. It's enjoying lasagna time. Or time to visit your nan time. Put the phone down.
I'll fix him, love. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. Which reminds me, I need to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm looking into smart family life insurance. Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK. You can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000, depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And it could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cash back on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
We know travel can be confusing, so let us inspire you. Welcome to Qatar. Experience it all. World-class hospitality, diverse landscapes from city to sea, and fly there with the Airline of the Year 2022, Qatar Airways. Book now at travelup.com or call 0207 580 5000. Travel Up, flights, hotels, holidays.
Welcome back. You're watching The World Report on NDTV. Apple's board has called on investors to vote against a proposal to end its diversity, equity and inclusion programs. It comes after a conservative group, the National Center for Public Policy Research, called on the technology giant to abolish its DEI policies, saying they expose firms to litigation, reputational and financial risks. 9 out of 10 new cars sold in Norway last year were powered by battery only. Registration data showed on Thursday, placing the country within reach of its target of only adding cars that are electric on the road by 2025. Fully electric vehicles accounted for 88.9% of new cars sold in 2024, up from 82.4% in 23. Data from the Norwegian Road Federation has showed. The Nordic nation of 5.5 million people has adopted EVs faster than any other country in the world, and is on the cusp of becoming the first to phase out sale of new fossil fuel cars. The lawyer for TikTok and its Chinese parent company ByteDance has offered a warning during Supreme Court's argument over a law that would compel the sale of the short video app or ban it in the US. They have said that if Congress should do this to TikTok, it could come after other companies as well. The law, which was the subject of arguments before 9 justices on Friday, sets a 19th January deadline for ByteDance to sell the popular social media platform or face a ban on national security grounds. The companies have sought, at the very least, a delay in implementation of the law, which they say violates the US Constitution's First Amendment protection against government arbitrage of free speech. Max Verstappen will have the chance to match a significant F1 achievement in the upcoming 2025 season as he looks to equal Michael Schumacher's record for the most consecutive F1 World Championships heading into 2025. Verstappen is coming off a strong 2024 campaign where he clinched his 4th straight world title. Now, despite intense competition from McLaren and Lando Norris in the latter stages of the season, Verstappen's early season dominance and consistent performance, even when driving a car that wasn't the fastest on the grid, secured him another championship victory. Singer Ed Sheeran wants people to take music in schools seriously. To that end, the British singer-songwriter has set up the Ed Sheeran Foundation to ensure that children in the UK get access to high-quality music education. Sheeran started writing songs at a young early age after encouragement from a teacher at the school and wants to help plug the gap left by reduced arts funding. To support the launch of the foundation, the Grammy winner visited schools and youth groups in Cardiff, Coventry, Edinburgh and Belfast. Well, that's all we have for you today. Take care and have a wonderful day.
What's wrong with the car? It's okay, lads. I'm with the AA. Ah? Bombay mix.
Because the AA has more expert patrols across the country, you'll be back on the road in no time. No wonder more people choose the AA. Join today.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma. But so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pamelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 021 3925 and giving £2 a month to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 021 3925, text C7 to 82727, or go online and give just £2 a month now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
Now we move on to the next category, which is the Youth Icon of the Year. And for this, मैं एक बार फिर से request करूँगी आशा पारेख जी का स्टेज पर आने के लिए, और साथ ही इनवाइट करेंगे मयंक अग्रवाल जी को, CEO Gallant Group of Industries, to join us on stage for this next category of awards.
Ananya Pandey.
Congratulations, Ananya. And Ananya Pandey, actor, is getting this award for her advocacy work on combating cyberbullying, growing achievements in the film industry, and strong influence on social media. And that's what makes Ananya Pandey NDTV Youth Icon of the Year 2024. She represents a blend of modern values, relatability, and a commitment to meaningful causes.
Joining us today is somebody whose journey in Indian cinema is almost parallel to independent India's journey. Almost 7-8 decades that she has acted, directed, censored Indian cinema.
Now, the Delhi elections are drawing close. They are on the 5th of February. Once again, there's row over Delhi voters list. Arvind Kejriwal has alleged fake voters, and he claims that BJP is fabricating voter. Aam Aadmi Party chief will be meeting the Election Commission at 3 p.m. today. This war over voters have been going on for a while now. Kejriwal has also said that the voters are added at MPs' homes. BJP says Aam Aadmi Party is making a desperate attempt and has asked for the proof, called these hollow accusations. BJP has also said that AAP must focus on the real issues instead of talking about fake voters being added to the list every day.
कई इनके बीजेपी की एमपीज के घर से 30-30, 40-40, 20-20 वोट, नए वोट बनने के लिए एप्लीकेशंस गई हुई हैं। ये बड़ा मिस्टीरियस है। मुझे एक पत्रकार ने बताया कि उन्होंने लोकल डीएम से पूछा, लोकल डीएम डिस्ट्रिक्ट इलेक्टोरल ऑफिसर होता है, उस लोकल डीएम से पूछा कि आप इसका क्या कर रहे हैं। तो मेरे को उस पत्रकार ने बताया कि लोकल डीएम का जवाब था कि भाई साहब एमपीज के घर में माली भी होते हैं, नौकर भी होते हैं, फलाना भी, तो इसका मतलब डीएम मन बना चुका है कि इस खेल में डीएम भी शामिल है। ये लोग अपने इन घरों में, परवेश वर्मा जी इस घर में 10 साल 11 साल से रह रहे हैं, 11 साल से रह रहे हैं। तो 11 साल से वो बिना माली के, बिना नौकर के, बिना रसोइये के, बिना उसके काम चला रहे थे। वहां तब तक 3 वोट बने हुए थे, वो 3 वोट से काम चला रहे थे। अब अचानक 15 दिन में उन्हें सारे रसोइये याद आ गए, सारे माली याद आ गए, सारे, ये क्या है?
We have Praveen Khandelwal responding to all the allegations that have been leveled against him by Arvind Kejriwal. Do listen in.
These silly accusations lack evidence and are a clear reflection of the frustration within the AAP party, and as they continue to lose credibility among the public. So, therefore, Mr. Kejriwal is a habitual accusation maker, and since he has failed on all the fronts, now he is escaping the attention of the people of Delhi by accusing falsely BJP members. This is ridiculous. If he is right, he should present concrete evidences to support his claims rather than resorting to these hollow charges to mislead the people. We all pretty well know that there is a established policy and principles under which the Election Commission takes cognizance, and there is a stipulated practice under which the votes are either added or the votes are removed. But my advice to Mr. Kejriwal will be to focus on addressing the pressing issues in Delhi, such as water supply, transport, and health services, which remain grossly neglected under his administration since last more than 10 years. In last 10 years, Mr. Kejriwal has not done anything. Instead, he always bank upon in shifting the responsibility from one shoulder to another. So, if he has made a complaint, or if he is going to make a complaint, let the Election Commission take a cognizance of it, and whatever the constitutional practices enshrined in the election rules, and the Election Commission will take necessary action.
My colleague Shreya Ghosh joins me for more on this story. Shreya, there are some serious allegations that have been made by Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal about voters being added in MPs' houses. Tell us, what is the real story playing out right now? And in all of this, is Aam Aadmi Party taking the